got our water. We're not going to put the whole thing of water in there all at once because we don't know exactly how much water it's going to take. There's no exact number I can give you because it depends on the weather, depends on if there's any water in here. Okay, and we're going to fine tune it for our particular need, but it's going to be somewhere around this probably. Okay, and the first one always takes more water because some of that water soaks up into the mixer. Okay, especially if the mixer is old and has plaster in there. So, what we have here is 2-gallon buckets. So this is 2 parts right here. 4, 6, 8. All right. A lot of times you could do another bucket and have 10 parts. And then we would do 2 gallons of cement. That's another 2 parts. That would be 12 parts total, not counting our water. Okay. Yep. That equates to somewhere around 18% as a true mix. I don't want to tell anyone in the field to do that, right? Like, we're doing 4 parts sand, 2 parts cement. All right. If we had 5, that would be 10 parts sand, 2 parts cement, 20% admix is what we usually refer to that to. Okay. If you want to do 15%, which would be acceptable, this would be 3/4 of the way full. That's a pain to do, right? Measuring half buckets is really hard to do in the field. You're trying to produce a lot of material. You might want to get a 1-gallon bucket for that. All right.
Why does the 1 bucket of cement count for 2, and the 1 bucket of sand only counts for 1?
No, this is 2 parts: 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 9, 10. Because they're 2 gallons. So this is 2 gallons, right? And these are 2 gallons.
Okay.
Right.
So each gallon equals to each part.
1 part. That's how we're going to refer to it. Okay.
So he said 8 to 2 or 4 to 1.
In total will
I
be
might
5.
have said something wrong there.
Total will be 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I understand.
Yeah. So right now we have 10 parts total for one of these. Okay. 20%, 2 parts
Okay.
is our cement. Each bucket equals 20%.
Okay.
Now, this might not translate to other people who are like doing soil engineering kind of way. They measure things differently a lot of times. It could be like density, it could be by weight. We're doing by volume because it's what works easier for us in the field. All right, but you're not always going to be able to communicate that the same way. All right. So the order that we're going to do, we're probably going to put like half to 3/4 of our bucket of water in here. We're going to put a bucket of sand, put a bucket of cement, and we're going to do our sand. And we might put water in between all that to make sure. I want to make sure this stays fluid enough to have a good mixture, okay? And again, everyone's got different ways of mixing. You could do a dry mix, and that would probably be the truest mix you could get.
Yeah.
All right? But it's also the dustiest. It's going to piss everyone off, all right? And I want to live a little bit longer than that. Okay, so if you have to be really critical about it, then that's what you have to do is a dry mix. Okay, you could put a plastic trash bag over this with a bungee cord, keep the dust down, but that slows you down too. So like, there's a lot of trade-offs. Again, we're just trying to achieve like the highest thing that we technically have to achieve is 1,000 psi. We're gonna be fine as long as this mixes. If it all plumps up, start that batch rolling. Okay. So that dry mix would be able to allow it to all mix, and then you add the water in at the very end. Okay. I'm going to keep this fluid, and I'm going to hydrate all at one point, and that way I know all that cement is activated and it started its chemical process. Okay. So it's going to get loud in a second. There's going to be cement dust flying around. Whenever I do cement, whenever I dump the cement in here, same thing as the barbed wire. I yell out, cement! So anyone around is like, oh, okay, I need to step away, get out of the dust cloud, okay? I think I'm going to have you guys fill up these buckets first before I start. Alright, so again, this is one mix. We want to fill up these mixes. Now, I'm going to show you with the cement really quick. I usually try to minimize the amount of dust I'm dealing with by scooping it as much as I can. And then very slowly tipping this bucket. Because if I move it fast, like you might want to stop.
It's gonna kick it.
If I move it fast, it does that. I don't want to be in that cloud. Okay? So if I go slow, I can like tip it over slow and I don't create that cloud. Okay? So if you're doing this all day, you want to take care of yourself. Again, if you see big chunks, it breaks real easily. For our purposes, I'll use it. Normally, I don't like to see that. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and fill up the orange buckets with sand.